Hey YouTube, hi Spotify, it's Kel, and I am going to try to make this video right now. We're gonna see how many times I can do it without my cats interrupting, or if I can do it at all right now. Um, but the lighting is a little bit off, and I don't know, I might have to redo it later on. So just gonna wing it, see how it goes. But I wanted to pop on and kind of make a little bit of a miscellaneous video. Sometimes I do series, sometimes I just do miscellaneous videos. Today, we're going to talk about what I call recurring themes in a person's life. And, even Oprah says, the universe will originally whisper to you, and if you do not hear it, it will speak a little louder. And if you do not hear it still, it will start to speak very loudly. Then, if you still do not hear it, at some point, these lessons will smack you across the face. So, no, I'm not saying that like God is into violence or anything, but I'm just saying that the lessons get louder and louder and they hurt you more and more until you recognize that they are supposed to be lessons that you were learning. And what I have seen in my own personal life and also in my private practice is that oftentimes there are themes in a person's life. And like I said, maybe they started out as whispers, but that throughout the person's life, they have become louder and louder with more and more severe consequences. And the hope is that the severe consequences will have you learn the lesson, whatever lesson is that you're supposed to learn, right? And so I know a lot of people may not go to therapy. So, first of all, that would be my first recommendation is if you really want to uncover what these patterns could be in your life, go to therapy. Talking about it and trying to understand whatever themes can sometimes help you identify and figure out, oh wait, there is a pattern there. Okay, if you do not want to go to therapy, you could just try self-reflection, right? Just kind of looking back and asking yourself, what are the most, problematic situations that keep coming up over and over? Is there a recurrent theme to them? Like I know people, and I won't say who, but in my own personal life, I do know someone who one theme was like, although they were very financially wise, they were not generous to people. And it ended up becoming something that like not being generous to like people in need. And I know that that was problematic for that person. Or like another one I know had been like a theme. A different person was like they were the most loving person in the world, but they also didn't know how to handle or stand up to disrespect. So those are just examples of, and I'm just thinking of two people I have known in my own personal life, let alone all of the um you know clients I've had where there's been a consistent theme. Another example would be substance use and abuse, right? If you have a problem with it, you will end up having more and more severe consequences throughout your life if you do not deal with it and get it in check. Either, if you can get it under moderation, or if you really have a problem with it, being abstinent or taking care of it, going to meetings, whatever you have to do. So, again, there are these themes that recur in people's lives. And like I said, I do think that the louder and louder consequences are to, whether you believe in God or a higher power or whatever, or your higher self, your own wisdom, whatever the case, I do believe that, those are there to teach you whatever it is you're supposed to learn, right? And I know Oprah has had these thoughts as well. But one cool thing I just wanted to throw out there, and again, there is a lot that I believe that ChatGPT and AI will not do for us in the future, but I just tested out myself. One cool intervention I feel like a lot of people could do if they wanted to dive in for themselves into like what could be the most problematic thing in their life is there is I put in the prompt to ChatGPT. I said, can you come up with a list of 30 questions so that a person could discover recurring? I said, because I'm trying to like come up with examples for my clients. So the prompt that I used was, can you come up with a list of 30 questions so that I can discover recurring, possibly problematic themes in my life? And I'm not going to lie, I was really shocked and impressed and this is one area I've said it before where I'm very impressed with ChatGPT coming up with journaling questions for self-reflection for people's lives, because a lot of times, people may not see things. We all have blind spots. And I feel like, so these are great questions that they came up with. I'm just going to read you a few to give you some examples. But if you want journaling homework for your own life, if you want personal growth, if you want to try to see some of your blind spots, listen to the questions it came up with. I really liked them and said, the first one, what situations consistently leave me feeling drained or resentful? What kinds of conflicts do I seem to be having over and over again? When I look back at the last 5 years, what problem has shown up in multiple areas of my life? I mean, these are really, really great questions. So good job, Chat GPT, at building this kind of tool that can really help people in self-development. I'm just scrolling down because I said 30 questions, and so there are a ton of great ones here. Um, Another one, let's see. When I feel stressed, what coping strategies do I rely on? Which ones help and which ones create more problems? Um, let's see. What fears influence more of my decisions than I'd like to admit? I mean, these are really, really great. What boundaries do I struggle to maintain? So what setbacks still have an emotional grip on me, even if they happened years ago? I mean, these are really, really great questions. So again, congratulations to ChatGPT for developing really, really good journaling questions. I'm very impressed with that. And I really just wanted to pass this along to people because it is a cheap, to me, very effective way if you can at all journal. But even if you can't, even if you don't like handwriting, because a lot of people say, oh, I don't like writing or handwriting, you can open up a Word document and say, I am trying to do some self-development for myself, and put in, if there's usually in most apps or Word documents, there is a dictation ability so that you can just speak to it and it will type it in. So even if you just for your own sake and self-reflection want to come up with it, ask ChatGPT to come up with 30 questions for you. And you can do this multiple ways, in on multiple topics, but then you can ask the question of yourself, say it out loud in your Word document like a journal, and then just voice your answer to kind of talk to the Word document as like a journal, but instead of writing it out, you're verbalizing and getting it out. So it's a really, really great tool that again, I think as AI, develops, we're going to ask, how can it help human beings to develop, and how can it be a tool for us rather than, us being a tool for intelligence? And I feel like this is a really good example, I do believe, of helping people to develop into being better human beings. So again, good job, Chat GPT. Also, it's a free tool. At least as of right now, I just came up with that list of questions for myself without paying for it. So hope this helps. And I will be continuing in this podcast again soon. And I hope that you're happy and healthy wherever you are. And I will see you again soon.